talking to Alison about when I went fishing with my father. I would have been, I'm just going to say 12. I was a young kid. He hired a boat. We went out together. And I was really excited because I never got a lot of time to spend with him because he was always working and all that sort of stuff. It was a great opportunity for me to spend some quality time with my dad. Out in the boat, got the fishing rods. I wasn't a very good fisherman. Not very good at all. I didn't care though. I was with my dad.
Yeah.
And we're on a boat and we're going to do some fishing together. And then I put the fishing line out and I didn't care about the fishing, to be honest with you. I didn't let him know that. And I started catching fish because I was just, enjoying being in the boat and enjoying the water and being with my dad and fishing and started catching all these fish. This is my memory. He wasn't very impressed.
Which is really strange because you would think that a father would be impressed or proud that his son is catching fish.
No, he was not impressed because he believed that I was beating him. So he became, because he's a very competitive man, he had to be the best at everything. And me being who I am, didn't give a crap. I was just there with my dad having a great time in a great boat fishing. So he pretty much... I could see him go red, very upset, even a bit angry. We're not catching fish. I don't know what he did. Next thing you know, he started catching fish more than me. And I'm like, you're just taking the joy out of it, mate. Because my 12-year-old was like, this is a really good time. We can chat and talk. He didn't want to talk. He just wanted to catch fish and his son was catching more fish than him. So I just thought, as I was discussing that with you last night, I just thought, geez, that's really interesting. So... And we've been working a lot on manifestation and a lot with creating what we want to create and prosperity and all that sort of stuff. And because in that moment in time when I was 12 years old on the boat with my dad, I was in bliss and joy and happiness, like the innocence of the child, I was able to manifest as much fish as I wanted. And I thought, geez, isn't that interesting? If you let go, become a bit childlike and have a lot of fun with what you do and you want to create, as long as you have some fun and let go, you'll manifest it.
Yeah, which makes so much sense and it sounds so much easier when you say it.
Yeah, but as you get a lot older and you've got stresses and responsibilities and you've got to pay your bills and all that stuff, you do get a bit lost.
Yeah, almost in a way you forget.
Yeah, you do, you forget. And I was just thinking about, we're talking about then the child fisherman versus the master fisherman. And the master fisherman's got all his hooks. He's got these $5,000 fishing rod. I don't know, they exist for that much money. Whatever, I'm just making it up as I go. And you got the child with his little child rod and he's happy and joyful and he's, nothing flash of the child. And they go out to do some fishing. The child catches all this fish and the master's sitting there going, what is that kid doing that I'm not doing? I'm a master of this. I can do this really well, but this kid is doing better. And it is because the kid's in the moment having fun and not having the expectation to catch any fish at all, therefore catching fish. And I just thought, geez, that's really interesting. That's what we do in life, isn't it? It's like you can have people who are really good at something versus somebody that's not. I'm just getting those people who win Tattslotto for the first time. A lot of them are just having fun and just like doing it for the fun of it, and they win. And then you've got people who are really invested in spending 50 hours a week. So it's along those lines. So it's like we need to learn to let go and be free, not sort of have too much expectation of what we want to create, still do the work and still do the steps. But I feel, again, when I was in the moment, I got it on a whole different level, is we need to let go and trust and have some fun and be, as you said as well, be the innocence of the child.
I'm also getting that the person who thinks that they're the master is the one that's chasing, always chasing. They consider themselves a master, but they haven't actually really mastered the art of just being. And really, it comes back down to being. Just being in the flow of everything, like you said, because being in the flow of everything without chasing, if you don't chase anything and you just allow it to be what it needs to be, things will happen. Things will flourish. Creation happens. Flow happens.
And that's interesting we're using the word master, because the master does mean all that.
Well, it's interesting. I think it really depends on the perception of the person who thinks they're the master. So if a master knows or feels that they're still a student, because to me, a true master still understands that they are still learning from life. They know a lot. They have a lot of knowledge. They have learned or mastered their skill, but they're actually still open to learning, as opposed to someone who feels like they know it all. It's very different.
You're talking a little bit about arrogance or ego then, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean...
And that's what squashes the manifestation as well.
Yeah.
It's like we need to let go of that ego or that, what we just discussed just then.
Yeah.
The two different aspects of the master.
Yeah, so you've got the master who has mastered the skill but still knows that he's a student versus the master who thinks that he knows everything.
Yeah. So the meaning to the story is, when you want to create and manifest something, make sure you still got that play, that fun.
Yeah, because all children, you see children, they just play, they have fun, and they know they can create anything.
Well, they do. You watch them, like, what are you today? Oh, what are you playing? Oh, I'm playing in the sandpit and I've got building the city. I'm now an architect.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and they believe that they are the architects.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They have no limitation on their creativity. Mm-hmm. And we do forget that as we get older, because like you said, you know, you get older, all of a sudden you've got to get a job because you've got to pay bills and you've got to pay rent and everything, and life brings you down. And we do forget to be that childlike energy. And the childlike energy is really important to manifest, like you said.
Yeah, I'm letting go, needing to let go.
Yeah, and we all have that lesson. Even you and I go through times where it's like, okay, we just need to let go. We just do what we can do and just be.
Exactly. Just like the example with this new podcast we're doing. You know, we do the work, do the show and everything, and we put it online. And we're like, oh, we really would like a lot of people to listen. Yeah. Yet at the same time, we have to just let it go.
Exactly. It's like we are the parents of Phoenix Awakened. And we have done everything. We've prepared it. We've looked after it. We've helped it to grow to where it is now. And now we just got to allow it to be and walk, crawl, run, whatever it needs to do on its own. Allow it to be what it needs to be until we need to come back in and go, okay, what's the next thing that we can do with Phoenix Awakened? So it's kind of like allowing the child just to be.
Yeah. Not be a helicopter parent.